From WWE to TNA, from AEW to WCW, every wrestling promotion has that one wrestler who you immediately associate with that company. In this video, we're going to find out who's the GOAT of every wrestling promotion, starting with TNA. When you think of total nonstop action, you think of one name, AJ Styles. While stars like Kurt Angle and Sting brought legitimacy to the company, Styles was the homegrown star who built his legacy entirely within TNA's six-sided ring. The Phenomenal One captured the NWA World Heavyweight Championship 3 times, and after TNA created its own World Championship, Styles became a 2-time TNA World Heavyweight Champion, with his victories over Sting and Kurt Angle proving he belonged among wrestling's elite. His rivalry with Samoa Joe and Christopher Daniels produced some of the greatest matches in company history. Beyond World Championships, Styles captured the X Division Championship 6 times, and he even won the World Tag Team Championship multiple times. Styles main evented more pay-per-views than anyone during Impact's prime years, consistently delivering when the company needed him most. When people think of TNA's golden age, they remember Styles flying through the air, locking in the calf crusher, or delivering the Styles Clash. Styles carried the company through ownership changes, roster departures, and creative turmoil, always maintaining his excellence regardless of circumstances. The Phenomenal One spent over a decade as TNA's franchise player, and even today, a decade after retiring from active competition in TNA, Styles remains the greatest wrestler to ever come out of the Impact Zone. However, before TNA was formed, there was a rival company that almost drove WWE out of business. World Championship Wrestling rose from the NWA's ashes to become WWE's greatest rival during the Monday Night Wars. Goldberg's undefeated winning streak created an unstoppable monster. Hulk Hogan's shocking heel turn launched the NWO and made WCW the industry's hottest promotion. Ric Flair's decade-long dominance established WCW as wrestling's premier destination for technical excellence. Even stars like Lex Luger, Randy Savage, and DDP had solid runs in the company. Yet one man defined WCW from its inception until its final days, becoming the promotion's soul and its most loyal soldier. The Stinger captured his first NWA World Heavyweight Championship in 1990, defeating Ric Flair at the Great American Bash in a passing of the torch moment that announced a new era. While Flair represented wrestling's past, Sting embodied its future with his face paint, energy, and connection with the fans. After this, the icon would feud with the likes of Lex Luger, Vader, Rick Rude, and compete in multiple marquee matches for the promotion from 1992 to 1995. When the NWO invaded WCW in 1996, Sting transformed himself into the vigilante who watched from the rafters, building towards his confrontation with Hollywood Hogan at Starrcade 1997. Despite the controversial finish, Sting's victory over Hogan remains one of wrestling's most anticipated matches. Sting won the World Heavyweight Championship 6 times during the promotion's existence, feuding with everyone from Flair and Vader to Hogan and Goldberg. Beyond championships, Sting won the King of Cable tournament and headlined Starrcade multiple times. He remained loyal to the company even as other stars departed for WWE. When WCW closed in 2001, Sting was there until the end, the icon who refused to abandon ship. While Hogan and Flair achieved greater mainstream fame, nobody represented WCW's identity more completely than Sting. The face paint, the scorpion death drop, the baseball bat, these images define WCW's legacy, and they all belong to the Stinger. But as the company went bankrupt and eventually got purchased by Vince McMahon, 2 decades later, another WWE rival promotion would emerge. All Elite Wrestling launched in 2019 as the first legit WWE alternative in decades. Kenny Omega's title reign showcased why many consider him the best wrestler alive, delivering classics against everyone from Hangman Page to Bryan Danielson. The Young Bucks revolutionized tag team wrestling with their innovative style. Hangman Adam Page's emotional championship victory over Omega created one of wrestling's best long-term stories. Chris Jericho brought star power as the company's first world champion. MJF evolved into the company's top heel and biggest homegrown star. Will Ospreay arrived and immediately delivered 5-star classics. Swerve Strickland's title reign established him as a main event player. Yet when measuring consistency, championship success, and sheer presence through every controversy and challenge, one man stands above all others, Jon Moxley. After his controversial exit from WWE, the former Shield member arrived in Tony Khan's company at Double or Nothing and attacked both Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega. The purveyor of violence quickly captured the World Championship, defeating Jericho to become the promotion's second world champion. His reign through 2020 carried AEW through the pandemic's darkest days, defending the title in empty arenas against Brian Cage, Brody Lee, and Eddie Kingston. His feud with Kenny Omega defined the company's first 2 years, with their lights-out match at Full Gear showcasing the violence and freedom Tony Khan's promotion offered. Moxley reclaimed the World Championship in 2022, defeating Punk after the latter's injury created a sudden vacancy. He held the title through controversy surrounding CM Punk's backstage altercations, providing stability when the company desperately needed it. His third reign began in 2024 after defeating Bryan Danielson, proving his continued position as AEW's anchor. Beyond his World Championship reigns totaling over 400 days, Moxley formed the Blackpool Combat Club, mentoring Wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia while keeping the company grounded during turbulent periods. He worked in New Japan and won the U.S. Championship. When Tony Khan needed someone to face Orange Cassidy or Powerhouse Hobbs or Hangman Page on short notice, Moxley delivered without complaint. Through roster departures, backstage drama, creative missteps, and declining ratings, Moxley remained AEW's constant. While Omega may be the company's greatest in-ring performer and Hangman delivered its best story, nobody has carried the promotion through thick and thin like AEW's ace. But 2 decades before All Elite Wrestling became a thing, there was a scrappy, underground promotion during the 90s that redefined hardcore wrestling. Extreme Championship Wrestling exploded onto the scene in 1993 and revolutionized professional wrestling with its violent style. While WWE and WCW had their cartoonish characters, ECW pushed boundaries with extreme matches and edgy storylines. The Sandman's entrances and Singapore cane shots made him one of most recognizable characters in wrestling. Sabu's death-defying stunts showed his willingness to sacrifice his body for the art. Taz's suplex-heavy dominance and undefeated streak positioned him as a legit badass. Rob Van Dam's innovative offense made him the total package and a multi-time champion. Raven's mind games and tortured artist persona created one of the most complex characters in wrestling history. Yet while these men achieved greater fame and bigger paydays, one wrestler embodied ECW's spirit more than anyone and literally went down with the ship: Tommy Dreamer. Dreamer was never known for lengthy title reigns or technical classics, but his legacy transcends titles. Dreamer endured ladder matches, barbed wire encounters, and weapons shots that left permanent scars, all while representing the everyman fighting against impossible odds. He won the tag team championships alongside multiple partners, and his hardcore matches against Raven, Sandman, and other ECW originals consistently delivered the violence the company was known for. Dreamer's willingness to take punishment made others look unstoppable, while his eventual comebacks gave fans hope. Beyond in-ring work, Dreamer became Paul Heyman's most trusted soldier, keeping the locker room united during the company's financial struggles. When paychecks bounced and the company crumbled, wrestlers departed for other companies, but Dreamer remained loyal to a fault, fighting until the promotion officially died. Dreamer represented ECW's blue-collar ethos. He was never the most talented or charismatic, but his blood, sweat, and tears kept the company afloat. Nobody loved ECW more than Tommy Dreamer, the innovator of violence, who gave everything for the promotion. But as the original ECW crumbled in 2001, a new indie promotion would take over the Hammerstein Ballroom and give us some of the best wrestlers of the next decade. Ring of Honor launched in 2002 with a mission to showcase pure wrestling without flashy gimmicks. Samoa Joe's reign of terror established the championship's prestige. CM Punk's Summer of Punk storyline brought mainstream attention before his departure. Kevin Steen's brutal heel work and eventual redemption created Ring of Honor's most compelling character arc. Nigel McGuinness delivered technical classics and showcased British wrestling on American soil. Stars like El Generico, Matt Sydal, and Tyler Black had solid runs. Adam Cole and the Young Bucks later brought star power during Ring of Honor's resurgence. Yet one man's contributions to Ring of Honor transcended championships and matches, literally inspiring an entire generation. The American Dragon captured the ROH World Championship in 2005, defeating James Gibson. His lengthy title reign saw him successfully defending against Nigel McGuinness, Kenta, Samoa Joe, and countless others in matches that consistently earned 5-star ratings. His trilogy with McGuinness showcased technical wrestling at its absolute peak, with their encounters producing instant classics that wrestling historians still study. Danielson's willingness to wrestle anywhere made ROH special. He defended the championship at tiny venues and major shows with equal intensity. His matches against the likes of Samoa Joe, Austin Aries, and Marufuji demonstrated his versatility. Beyond his own accomplishments, Danielson mentored younger wrestlers like Seth Rollins, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and legitimized Ring of Honor to wrestling purists. When Danielson departed for WWE in 2009, he had already established the promotion as a proven training ground for future stars. But while Bryan was carrying Ring of Honor, a certain wrestling promotion in Asia was about to go bankrupt. New Japan Pro Wrestling stood as Japan's premier promotion for decades, but by the mid-2000s, the company faced near collapse. Hiroshi Tanahashi emerged during this dark period and single-handedly dragged New Japan back from the brink. The ace captured his first IWGP Heavyweight Championship in 2006, starting New Japan's resurrection. While the company bled money and fans abandoned pro wrestling for MMA, Tanahashi delivered classics that reminded audiences why wrestling mattered. His rivalry with Nakamura produced excellent matches, but his feud with Kazuchika Okada defined NJPW's next decade. Okada delivered the greatest in-ring work in company history with his legendary reign. Nakamura's charisma made him a crossover star. Kenny Omega brought international attention with his classics against Okada. Naito's redemption story created Japan's most beloved anti-hero. Yet while all these stars had their own unique appeal, only one man earned the title of ace. Tanahashi won the IWGP Heavyweight Championship 8 times, repeatedly carrying the company through transitions and challenges. His battles with Minoru Suzuki proved that he could work any style. His rivalry with Naito created compelling drama around two contrasting ideologies competing for the company's soul. Beyond championships, Tanahashi won the G1 Climax 3 times, headlined more Tokyo Dome shows than anyone in the modern era, and became Japan's most recognizable wrestler. His air guitar celebrations and genuine connection with fans made him a national icon who appeared on mainstream television and in commercials. When New Japan needed someone to work with international stars like AJ Styles and Kenny Omega, Tanahashi delivered matches that amused both Japanese and Western audiences. His willingness to lose at Wrestle Kingdom 13 to establish Kenny Omega demonstrated his commitment to the company's success over personal glory. Even in the later stages of his career, the ace delivered solid encounters against the likes of Jay White, Evil, and Sonata, showing his eagerness to elevate the next generation. While Okada may be New Japan's rainmaker and Nakamura its coolest star, Tanahashi saved the company from death and rebuilt it into a global force. And speaking of global force, let's answer the big question. Who's the GOAT of the biggest global promotion in pro wrestling? World Wrestling Entertainment has created countless mainstream superstars throughout its history. Hulk Hogan made wrestling a pop culture phenomenon and held the WWE Championship longer than anyone in the 1980s. Stone Cold Steve Austin became the biggest draw in wrestling history during the Attitude Era, selling record merchandise and delivering unprecedented television ratings. The Rock transcended wrestling to become a Hollywood star while winning multiple world championships. John Cena carried the company as its franchise player for over a decade, breaking merchandise records and granting more Make-A-Wish requests than anyone. Shawn Michaels delivered some of the greatest matches in history before retiring as Mr. WrestleMania. Yet when measuring longevity, consistency, and cultural impact combined, one supernatural force stood as WWE's cornerstone for nearly 3 decades. While others came and went, The Undertaker remained WWE's constant through the New Generation, Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression, PG Era, and beyond. He captured his first WWE Championship in 1991, defeating Hulk Hogan. Undertaker won the WWE Championship 4 times and the World Heavyweight Championship 3 times across 2 decades, proving his sustained excellence. His feuds with Mankind produced some of the most brutal encounters, including their legendary Hell in a Cell match. The rivalry with Kane created wrestling's most compelling supernatural storyline. But beyond titles and rivalries, it was WrestleMania that defined The Undertaker's legacy more than anything. His undefeated streak became professional wrestling's most prestigious accomplishment. The matches with Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 25 and 26 are considered among the greatest of all time. The battles with Batista, Edge, CM Punk, and countless others gave WrestleMania its most reliable main event performer. His encounters with Triple H, particularly their Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania 28, proved why the Dead Man was the soul of WrestleMania. Beyond big matches, Undertaker mentored younger talent and protected WWE's locker room culture. He wrestled through injuries that would have ended other careers, always returning when WWE needed him most. The Gong, the iconic entrance, the Tombstone Piledriver, these became synonymous with WWE itself. While Hogan, Austin, Rock, and Cena achieved greater mainstream fame, nobody embodied WWE's soul like The Undertaker. For 30 years, the Phenom reminded everyone that WWE was his yard, and his legacy as wrestling's most iconic character remains untouchable. And while we're talking of iconic wrestlers, check out this video next to find out who was the greatest WWE wrestler from every era during its history.